What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the B-Roll Sports Podcast. On today's episode, I will be giving a breakdown of the Royals season so far, and then going into who I think will win each division in the MLB, and then final prediction, who I think will win the World Series. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into it. So the first part of my episode, I will be talking about the Royals' early season, how they're doing so far. So they are 16 and 19. They had a really slow start to the year. Just couldn't get a lot to happen. And one thing they struggled at is closing out games. Our relievers are struggling right now. Besides a couple, they're just struggling to close out the games, which is what they're supposed to do. But our starting pitchers are doing pretty good this year. That's what we were expected to be good at, and that's exactly what they've been doing so far. But I talk about them a little bit later. On offense so far, we have struggled hitting for power. Just in general, we just hit a lot of contact. Haven't scored a lot of runners that got on base in innings, and we've lost some games because of that. But it hasn't been too bad. If we would have won a lot of the close games, we would have been over 500, maybe even winning the league so far. But we have a couple power hitters. One of them is Carter Jensen, who has 6 home runs, who is leading the team. And I made these stats about 3 days before, so they could have already played a game and he could have hit another home run. So there's lots of the same players on this Royals team than there was last year. A lot of the same players. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Kyle Isbell, Vinny Pasquantino, Jack Caglione, pitchers like Chris Bubich, Seth Lugo, Cole Reagans, like Lucas Urseg. There's a ton. And the Royals wasn't too bad this year, last year. But we definitely have had a slower start to the year than we did last year. But I think we're going to come back from this slump and get it over. And then now we'll go to some stats about the team. Some of our batting leaders, batting average, not a big surprise here. It's been like this ever since he's got here, pretty much. Bobby Witt Jr. batting .289. It isn't the greatest, but even though we're a contact hitting team, we kind of struggle on batting average, which isn't great, but 289 is respectable, and I think he can get it up there farther, and so can other players. And our RBIs, our Carter Jensen is leading the team with 16. Not a big surprise there because he's hit a lot of home runs. And the greatest on-base percentage is the same as batting average, Bobby Witt Jr., who is on-base percentage is .367. And that shows you that he's just getting on base any way he can because it goes up a lot. His batting average goes up a lot from what it actually shows. An on-base percentage, I think, is a really important stat. I wouldn't look at batting average as much as on-base percentage because one thing about me when I play baseball is that I take a lot of walks. Like, I'm very selective at the plate. And so my batting average might not be the greatest, but on-base percentage is probably a lot better than that. And Bobby Witt Jr. is a great example of that. He gets on any way he can, including walks, hit by pitches, or bunts. He's very speedy, so that also helps. But just getting on any way he can. And then slugging percentage, basically how many times you hit the ball far, or what percentage of the time. Carter Jensen is .478 slugging percentage, which is decent. I mean, it's not like amazing, but it's also not bad for the best player on the team. And then best WAR. So those who don't know, WAR means wins above replacement. So it basically means how many games have you basically helped win in this season. Or you could say WAR for a career, and that'd be a lot for superstars. But the WAR for this season for Bobby Witt Jr. is 1.7, so that's pretty good to start the year. And I think he'll continue to do good on that stat. And then talking about pitching leaders, best ERA is Seth Lugo at 2.63. It's earned run average, so how many runs you on average you give up per game. So he's done a pretty good job of that. And we have a lot of good pitchers. We don't really have that one just stud that goes out there and just shuts down everybody. But we have a lot of good pitchers, and sometimes that's better than having one ace. And then the leader in strikeouts is Chris Bubich at 35. So he's done a good job. I haven't watched much of him this year. I don't know if he has a good breaking ball or fastball, but he probably has one of those, or he can switch up with them. And then the most wins on our team this year so far is Michael Walker, who has 2 wins just beginning of the year. Just kind of average for wins. And then the person who has the most saves, so those who don't know, saves means you basically hold the team, which is what we struggled at, and finishing the game. You don't let them come back and win. And Lucas Urseg has 7. He's probably our best reliever, and he's done a really good job this year as a reliever, but the rest of them have not really. And then our pitcher who has the most WAR is Seth Lugo, who has 1.2 WAR, which is pretty good for the pitcher this early on. And I think he'll continue to do good. I think he's our best pitcher right now, but we'll see as the season goes on if he gets, if he can't find it or another pitcher finds it. But we'll see. Now moving on from a quick Royals review, we're going to who I think will win the divisions for AL and NL, Central, East, and West, which are all the divisions. There's 5 teams are in each of them, and this is who I think will win. So starting with the AL Central, I have the Detroit Tigers, and I think this because they have great pitching with Justin Verlander, and I was going to say Tariq Skubal, who's an amazing pitcher, just like Justin Verlander, but he actually got elbow surgery, I think yesterday. So he's going to be out for a majority of the season. So I don't know. It could be anyone in the AL Central, which is the Royals division. And as much as I want them to win the division, I don't know if they will. We'll see. But they're only 1.5 games back from winning the division. So it's just really tight, and none of the teams are really that good. Moving on to the AL East, we have I think the Yankees will win because, first of all, they have a lot of money. Kind of them and the Dodgers have a lot of money, can get a lot of good stars like Aaron Judge, who's probably the best batter in the league, and then Garrett Cole, who's one of the best pitchers in the league. Yeah, the Yankees. I don't really like the Yankees, but sorry. But it just is what it is. I wonder if they'll put a salary cap on money or anything. And then moving on to the last division in the AL, the West. I have the A's winning because I just want an upset to happen. Because the A's, 2 years ago, I believe, 2 or 3, they lost their team. They were losing so many games they had to sell the team and move from Oakland to, I think, don't quote me on this, but Las Vegas. But they've been doing pretty good, and they have a bunch of nobodies on their team. Like, if you look at their team, you probably want to know a single player that's on their team. And I just want them to win because I just want to see them overcome the odds. And then moving on to the AL, or the NL. The NL Central, I have the Cubs winning the AL, or the NL Central, because I just thought they were better than anyone else in their division. I looked at some stats, who's on their team, and they just looked like the best team. Just stats-wise and player-wise, roster-wise. And this one was a hard one to pick, but I just thought because looking at their stuff, I thought they were just the best team. But we'll see as the year goes on if that's true or not. And then this next division, the NL East, it was a no-brainer. I had the Braves because they're just dominating the division right now. They're up by like a lot. I don't even know what it actually is, but it's a lot. And I think they'll continue to do that. They're having a really good year, and I don't see anything stopping them. And then the last division, the NL East, and this a no-brainer as well, the Dodgers. 2 reasons: all the money, and because they have all the money, they have all the players. It's hard to not agree to have a $500 million contract signed with you to go play on their team. And I dislike the Dodgers, but I don't dislike them as much as the Yankees because I don't know why. Well, I really like Shohei Ohtani. I think he's a nice guy. But I think some of the Dodgers, people on the Dodgers are just not great people. But we'll see as the year goes on how these divisions play out. And then my final thing, who do I think will win the World Series? It's a long shot from now. We'll see by the end of October, but I think the Dodgers will win it. I think they're going for a 3-peat just because they have all the money and all the players, like I said. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.